Okay, so warm-up wise, get my kettlebell out of the way. There's four exercises, slightly different to all the stuff we've done before. There's a couple of little weird ones. You can do dead bugs, bird dogs, really weird name, warm-up exercises. Some hip openers, and then some shoulder taps. So for your dead bugs, let's actually, I've got enough space to do this actually. You would start flat on your back. And you want to think about pushing your lower back into the mat or into your floor, whatever you're kind of lying on. Arms up, legs bent, and it's opposite arm, opposite leg. So if you start with your right arm and left leg, you want to stretch out as far as you can, pushing your lower back down, and then come back up. So you want to try and just keep your opposite, though, the leg and arm that's not moving, still, and then just stretching it out. You can do 10 of those on each side. Then you're going to do bird dogs. So if I go this way around. So you're on all fours, make sure you've got your knees underneath your hips, wrists right underneath your shoulders. Again, opposite arm, opposite leg. You want a big stretch out, kind of like a Superman, a Superwoman. And then tuck your elbow into your knee, and then big stretch out again. Just try not to fall over. So for these ones, you do 5 on one side, and then just switch over. The hip openers is into your press up position. Try and get your right foot next to your right hand. Lift the right arm up. Step it back, step in with your left foot, lift the left arm up, 10 of those in total. And then the last one, your shoulder taps, you're coming into your press up position, try and keep your hips as still as you can, and then you're going to do 20 alternating shoulder taps. Okay, so you can do 10 of the dead bugs, 5 bird dogs on each side, 10 of the hip openers, 20 of the shoulder taps. We'll go for that twice. And then I'll run through the workout. Okay, so you put yourselves on your back. Then just keep thinking about pushing your lower back down into the mat. So it's arms straight up in the air, legs bent. Just extend your left leg and your right arm. Stretch out as far as you can without hitting the floor. Come back in, and then your left arm and your right leg. And then just try and concentrate on pushing your lower back right down into the floor. So you should feel it on your abs a little bit. And then once you've done your 10, so alternating, once you've done your 10, you want to come over onto your front, so hands right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. Again, opposite arm, opposite leg, just extend and reach as far as you can. And then tuck your knee, or tuck your elbow right into your knee. So for the bird dogs, it's 5 on each side. Again, just try not to fall over. And then once you've done your 5 bird dogs, you're going to come up into your press up position, right foot next to the right hand. Lift the right arm up, left foot next to the left hand, lift the left arm up. So it's 10 of the hip openers. And then once you've done your 10, you want to stay in your press up position. Go a little bit wider with your feet if you want to make it a little bit easier. And then you've got 20 shoulder taps. And then once you've done your shoulder tap, just go straight back into the start. So you go back to your 10 dead bugs. Oh, my shoulders are fried already. I haven't done anything. So then just try and keep whichever leg and arm you're not moving nice and still. Push your lower backs down. And then once you've done your dead bugs, you've got your bird dogs. Again, opposite arm, opposite leg, reach as far as you can. And then tuck your knee into your elbow, 5 on each side. And then once you've done your bird dogs, back into those 10 hip openers. And then once you've done your 10 hip openers, last little lot of the shoulder taps. Again, just try and keep your hips as still as you can. Oh. Okay, so that's the warm-up done. So basically, for your workout, you've got 4 exercises, which I'll go through. You're going to do an AMRAP for 20 minutes. So basically, it's 12 reps on each exercise. Once you've done the last exercise, you basically just go back to the first one, and then you just keep repeating it for 20 minutes. Your first exercise, you've got a little bit of a choice in this one. If you can do push-ups, do push-ups. Just make sure, even if you're doing your push-ups on your knees, if you start in your press-up position with your arms straight, just lean forward a little bit. So you're trying to keep your elbows right over the top of your wrists. So even if you want to drop down to your knees, lean forward, drop your knees down, and just make sure, if you do drop to your knees, just lower your hips as well. If you really struggle with push-ups, oh, this kettlebell feels really heavy this morning. So if you struggle with push-ups, you can do a chest press. So if you hold onto the kettlebell with 2 hands, flatten your back, push your lower back down. Now, if you want to make it a little bit easier, you can just do 12 chest presses. So either on those, if you could alternate if you wanted to. So if you want to do the first time through, do push-ups, and the second time, do chest press, and keep doing that, you can do, don't really mind. Your second exercise, you're going to do single arm rows. It's a big wide stance. Start with the kettlebell on one side. Nice flat back, keep your shoulders still. Only thing that's going to move is going to be your arm as you pull the kettlebell back into your hip. So you'll end up doing 12 rows on one side, and then just switch your feet round. So the kettlebell will be on your opposite side. And the same thing, the only thing that should move is going to be your arm. After you've done your 12 rows, you're then going to do 12 on each side for overhead press. So basically shoulder press. Yeah, I'll do this kneeling down, but you can do it stood up. When you're holding onto the kettlebell, when you're doing single side stuff, not that you can see, I'll come a little bit closer. Try and hold it where you got the handle at an angle down the palm. So try not to hold like a dumbbell, because it'll pull back on your wrist. Your forearms will be absolutely fried. So if you just rest the handle at an angle down your palm, there should be no space between the handle of the ball and your wrist. And then all you'll be doing is just 12 single arm presses. Make sure you lock the arm up. Try and start and finish just in front of your chest. So again, not like a dumbbell where you start there and you just be doing this. Try and start and finish up at your chest. Lock the arm up. Bring it back down to the chest. Once you've done your 12 on one side, switch the kettlebell over. Again, start and finish in your rack position at your chest. 12 on the other side. Your last exercise, I've just realised how upper body this is. I'm going to be fried. Two-handed swings. So most people have done swings before. So knees still, you want to hinge at the hips, make sure you keep your back nice and flat. Grab the kettlebell with 2 hands, put it back between the legs. Go forward a little bit, then just straighten the legs up as quickly as you can, and just nice and relax with your arms. Nice and relax with the shoulders, so it's all hamstrings and glutes that are doing the work. So pretty straightforward. 20 minutes. Keep repeating the 4 exercises for 20 minutes. So you've got 12 push-ups or chest press if you want to do the chest press. 12 single arm rows on each side. The hardest one's probably going to be the overhead presses. Again, 12 on each side for the presses. If you really struggle, depending on what kind of weight kettlebell you've got, if you really struggle doing single arm presses, hold on to the kettlebell with 2 hands and then just do 12 kind of regular overhead presses. So if your kettlebell's a little bit too heavy and you can't manage 12 on each side, just do 12 normal ones. 12 two-handed swings. So after the swings, you basically just go straight back into your first exercise, whether it's push-ups or chest press, whichever one you're doing, and just keep repeating it for 20 minutes. So it's pretty straightforward, very upper body focused. No idea why I've done it like that. I'll regret it tomorrow. Okay, so push-ups or chest press, single arm rows, overhead press, two-handed swings. We'll start in 10 seconds. So you should, but turn this up, you should hear a little buzzer go. So in 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, go. So either or, 12 of everything. And then once you've done your push-ups or your chest press, whichever you're doing, you've got the single arm row, so 12 on one side, 12 on the other side. So again, the only thing that should move should just be your arm. Everything else should be absolutely still. Then once you've done your 12, just switch your arms and legs over. And then once you've done your rows, again, you can do it standing up. It's a single arm overhead presses. So again, just try and start and finish just in front of your chest. And then once you've done 12 on one side, just switch it over. Whew. I should have got a lighter kettlebell, I think. And then once you've done your presses, you've got the two-handed swings for 12. And then once you've done your swings, you just go straight back. When you're ready, if you need to take a break, take a break. We'll just go straight back into your push-ups or chest press, whichever you were doing. Whew. So again, when you get onto those rows, big wide stance. Try and keep those shoulders in the back nice and flat. So 12 on each side, and then you've got your overhead press. So again, 12 on each side. For the presses, just make sure you lock that arm up. I think I might have to go to two-handed after this one. Then once you've done the presses, onto the swings. And once you've done those swings, back into your push-ups. So again, just keep going at your own pace. Take a break as and when you need to, if you need to. And 12 of everything. So 12 push-ups or your chest press, 12 rows on each side, 12 overhead presses on each side, and then 12 swings. So again, once you've done the presses, onto the swings. And once you've done those swings, that's another round down. And you just go back to the start. So push-ups, single arm rows, single arm overhead presses, and then your swings. Oh, I think everyone's got to lap me today. So again, just take a break as and when you need to. Keep taking water. if you've done anything like I've done and put the heating on because it was so cold and completely forgot to turn it off and I was absolutely roasting. Schoolboy error. So I'll let you know when we're at halfway. Not quite there yet. Again, 12 of everything, 12 push-ups, 12 rows, 12 presses. Obviously rows and presses, 12 on each side. 12 two-handed swings. So once you've done that again, once you've done those 12 push-ups or chest press, 12 single arm rows each side, and then 12 overhead presses each side, 12 swings.
Oh.
So you've got less than 9 minutes left. Whew. So 12, again, 12 push-ups or chest press, whichever you want to do. 12 rows each side, 12 overhead presses each side. Again, if you struggle on the presses doing single-sided, hold on with 2 hands. And then 12 swings to finish. And then keep repeating it. Again, when you get onto these rows, just try and keep everything still apart from your arms. So again, when you get to those presses, you can do them stood up. I have to do them kneeling down because I've not got enough room. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you could do it kneeling down as well. So again, when you get to these single arm presses, just try to start and finish at your chest. So bring it right back into that wrap position. Oh man, this kettlebell feels really heavy. 6 minutes left. The last 6 minutes. And then when you get onto the swing, just nice and snappy. Straighten the legs up, nice and snappy, driving the hips forward. So yeah, once you've done those 12 swings, another round down. Back into your push-ups or chest press, whichever you're doing. Whew. 5 minutes left. Oh. So again, just keep going at your own pace. Just keep working your way through. Oh. Have to revert to the easier version of these presses, I think. Oh. So again, once you've done those presses, if you end up doing it with two hands, like I've just done, as you're driving up, try not to lean back. Or if you lean back, just make sure you bring your head back through your arms at the top. So you want that weight of the kettlebell right over the top of your shoulders. Whew. Oh. 3 minutes left. Whew. Oh. So again, your order, 12 of everything. Push-ups or chest press. Your single arm rows. The overhead presses, again, single-sided or double if you want to make it easier. And then your swings. Two minutes left. Whew. Oh. Okay, 1 minute left. So the final minute. So don't stop if you just get through the swings. Try and keep going. I'll give you a little bit of a countdown as we're getting closer. So you've got 30 seconds left. Whew. Last 10 seconds. Last 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Whew. Oh. I must make a mental note to make the next one not all upper body. Oh man. Oh. Okay, I'll have a little stretch out. Start with the legs first. If you just put yourselves on your butts, on your bums, and then if you tuck your knees into your chest, and then just grab your heels. So try not to grab your toes, just grab your heels. Keeping your chest on your thighs. You just want to extend your legs out. Just extend your legs as far as you can, just keeping your chest down. So even if your legs are still a little bit bent, it doesn't really matter. And then with your toes, rather than grabbing your toes, just try and point your toes towards your head. And you should get it right up your calf. See my hamstrings there, right up into your hamstrings. And just keep that chest as low down as you can. And then if you leave your left leg out in front, if you've got any issues with your knees, just bring your foot on the inside of your leg. If you can, bring it around the back. Don't sit on your foot. Your bum will be right next to your foot. Bend your leg at the knee. So again, try and keep your chest down. My mat's really sticky, so I can't straighten my leg up. Just try and straighten your leg as much as you can. But again, just try and keep that chest right down onto your thighs. So try not to sit upright. Try to grab your toes. If you just grab your toes, you just end up just stretching your upper back out, not really stretching your hamstrings. And then if you bring your right leg out to the side, so if you go into a straddle position, so nice and far apart with your feet or as far as comfortable. Clasp your hands together. If you start over one leg, just keep your hips down and then just bounce up across to the other leg and then just keep trying to reach a little bit further on each bounce. Just keep going backwards and forwards. And then if you bring your feet back together, and then you want to bring your left leg around the back. Again, same as when you did the other side. If you've got any pain in your knee, just bring your left foot on the inside of your right thigh. So again, if you bend your leg at the knee, shift your ribcage over your thigh, keep your chest down, and then just try and straighten that leg up as much as you can. So again, try not to grab your toes and just arch your upper back. Your back's got to arch a little bit, but just try not to do it too much. And then if you leave your right leg in front, just come up into your lunge. So if you create a box with your calf and your left thigh, right calf and left thigh, try and pick your foot up and then pull the foot in nice and close to your bum. You should feel it stretching on that left quad. If you can't feel anything, keep a straight line from your knee through your hip all the way up to the shoulders and just let the whole kind of torso. Just lean forward into it so you can let your right knee drift over your toes. And you should get it on your quads. And slowly come out of that and switch your legs around. So right leg back, left leg forward, and grab that right foot. Same thing, if you can feel it on your quad already, just stay where you are. If you can't, just let everything just drop forward. And slowly come out of that. If you just pop your hips over the top of your knees, big stretch out your arms, leave your bum stuck up in the air, and just try and sink your chest and your chin down. So you should feel it kind of down your lats, down the middle of your back, kind of in between your shoulder blades. And then from there, if you just curl your toes, go into, I always call it a seal stretch. I think they call it upward dog, maybe in your way. And if you look up, you should feel it stretching on your abs. Just go hold this for a second. And then if your toes are curled on the floor, just lift yourself up into your downward dog. And then just roll yourself forward. Just do a couple, 3 or 4, just dropping into that upward dog, into your downward dog. Just keep working backwards and forwards. And then the last one, if you just pop your toes together, pop your knees out to the side, sit back onto your heels, and if you relax your head down, relax your arms out in front. It's quite a nice one for your lower back. And then from there, just keep your hips still, straighten your arms up, and then just walk your hands over to one side, so you should get a big stretch all the way down your lats. Or down the side, one side. So if you stretch, if you reach your arms out to the right, you'll get a big stretch down your left lat, so kind of from your armpit. Depending how far you reach your mind, you might get it all the way down to your hips, certainly down to your waist. And if you work hands over to the other side, it's getting big reach around. Just keep your hips still. Try and keep your shoulders nice and flat. And then back into the middle. Yeah, you can relax your head down, relax your arms out. That's it, all done. Survival.